What's up, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I'd like to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters, GXR7, Surrect74, Andrea Cassini, Swider, Aso Spades, and Scythe. Thank you all very much for your support, and if you want to support us on Patreon, feel free to click the link below in the description to find out more. Thanks again.
You know, it occurs to me. This was one of the episodes that actually made me go, damn, I have to watch this all the way through. This is probably one of my favorite episodes.
Good.
Simply because of its pacing, its action, and honestly, I have no words, actually. I'm just going to let y'all experience it as raw as I can. But let me ask you all a question.
Sure.
Do you all have an episode of a show that after watching made you go, yeah, I need to watch the rest of this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for instance, what's one show that you really liked that got you hooked like that?
Yu Yu actually.
Yu Yu Hakusho?
Yeah, I was
Nice.
a little skeptical in the first couple episodes because there really wasn't much going on. Mm-hmm. But once it actually picked up, definitely was like, okay, we gotta watch all of this.
Of course.
Immediately.
How about you, Chad? Did you have a show that made you?
I'm trying to think of one that had an episode that really hooked me. That's a tough one. I guess if I had to really dig for one, it would be Deep Space Nine. It would
Very
be
cool.
the episodes when they first started really using the Ferengi as like their main stay in the show. You know, like Quark's endeavors back on his home planet. That was when they started basing stuff around them, like entire episodes. I was like, oh, I got to see more of this. This is hilarious. Yeah.
How about you, Nick? Did you ever have a show like that?
Yeah, when Andrew and Chance showed me Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh.
Like, the first couple episodes, I was like, yeah, that's pretty funny. And then they showed me Mac and Charlie Die Part 1 and 2. And I was just like,
That was a good one.
this show's fucking awesome.
Yes, it is.
So, like, I went back and, like, started watching it from the beginning at that point. I've watched the whole thing at least probably 5 or 6 times by now.
Eastbound and Down. That is one for sure. And that was the first episode. I was like, holy shit, I'm watching all of this.
Still haven't got around to checking
easy.
that one out
It's not
yet.
easy being an all-star baseball player with laser rocket arm, the brain of a goddamn scientist, and a cock like a Burmese python.
I mean, it's just
Danny McBride is just such a
all
funny guy.
How is that
punchlines.
not easy?
It's constantly punchlines, the whole thing.
It is. Danny McBride, that was probably when I liked him the most because he was
Oh
just
my God.
constantly putting out funny stuff.
Fucking Letterkenny, I was hooked from the first little interaction. He's like, what the hell's up with your body hair, Big Shoots? You look like a 12-year-old Dutch girl. He's like, yeah, picking stones and stuff like that is
Fighting dudes
not
with
easy work, but sure as God's got sandals, it beats fighting dudes with treasure trails.
Letterkenny.
It's like, this show's awesome.
Yes, it is. But we've all had those episodes, and for me, this was the one. This was actually the second episode I ever watched of this,
Wow.
and this was the one that made me just go. You know, the first episode I watched, I think it was episode 2, was the one that was just like, yeah, this is pretty good. I missed episode 3 because I forget why I must have fallen asleep and missed it, and thus had to wait until next week because they didn't do reruns. They didn't do reruns on those, and I didn't have the internet, and I was stupid where I didn't record it. But yeah, this was the second episode I ever watched. This is Gateway Shuffle, episode 4 of Cowboy Bebop. Here we go.
Was that a fart?
No, it was her stomach.
I was like, damn, she just ripped one.
Some sweet glow sticks.
Yeah.
Have a Raven space. I think those are Galactus's glow sticks.
Our specialty is sea rat. It's totally disgusting. People eat it anyway for status. It's in and out.
Well, in that case,
It's like caviar.
guess I'm out. Lobster miso stew, please.
Damn.
I remember. That woman has a 25 million bounty.
Well,
First time I played Bioshock, it made me remember this scene.
yeah,
It's just like a weird, similar vibe.
yeah.
Later when I return.
It's Harrison's lucky day. Mama won't be back for a while.
Man just shot himself to death.
It's part of the process, Nate.
I know.
Don't disrespect the dead. Those britches shitting fuckers.
Sheet his breeches.
More like environment.
Terrorists, we are warriors of peace fighting a noble battle for the law of nature.
Peaceful when you blew away a bunch of people just now.
Yeah, and smiling about it.
The Ganymede
Singing,
police,
too.
but the government just blocked it.
Is this shit about to turn into Resident Evil or something?
Wait for it.
Actually, I think this is Micah's nightmare. Because he hates chimps. So much for not negotiating with terrorists, huh?
Sometimes the terrorists don't want to negotiate with you.
I'm starving. Picked up your signal, and well, I have a slight problem. I'm kind of out of fuel at the moment.
I don't believe it.
If you could just take me down, I'd be very appreciative.
That's right. Jesus.
Tough luck, broad.
Sorry, babe. It's just not. It's like the.
That's what you do.
No, Bob.
You know, when we worked in the same department, victims seem to disappear. See, it only seeks out human beings.
You don't give
Spike.
ISSP had them all inside their group.
She's like, oh
Lost
shit,
contact.
oh shit, oh shit.
Jayden dead, so we had no other option.
She needs to eat something.
It's like, bitch, you skinny. Bitch, what you use for a head glider? A Dorito?
For real.
Very soon.
Stop doing crack.
Crack is whack. And white don't cover black.
Maintained securely.
She makes organic meth.
Well, then
She makes
I'll
that
bring
hard
it back
shit.
up to the Parliament to look at it in a positive light.
I think you need a demonstration of what's in store for you.
Wait, we can discuss this. Mama, please not this. Mama, please no.
Hey, she doles out punishments. She's for real about it.
Yeah, that guy's fucked.
Oh, poor Ein. You shouldn't have done that. He's just a dog. Oh God, ads! I thought I got ad blocker for this shit.
Is that all they were planning?
Hey, that's how it goes. Distract. That's how magic works.
Oh, damn.
Well, shit. That's not good.
No.
No.
Good news, Chad. The Ganymede government just renewed the ransom on Twinkle and her crew.
Aw.
How are you gonna do that?
Shouldn't have done that. He's just a boy.
Okay, I give you 60.
Deal. Just do it.
Yeah. At that point, I'd pretty much say, fuck it. Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, at that point, fuck it.
Ooh.
By the skin of their ass.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Mom, the gate's closed. What are we gonna do?
chiefing on that meth hard.
No doubt.
Oh, damn.
That's right.
Somebody
He
better
slipped
dive
it
for
in her
that.
pocket.
You better catch that.
Guess who?
Bust a move.
Yeah, all that work and no reward. Tough guys, you sure complain a lot.
No, she fucked.
Now, don't take it so hard, boys. We'll make some big bucks on the next one.
Fine, I'll go tell her myself.
Wait, you may want to...
Wait, Spike! Bad move, Spike.
Wow. Well, that was interesting.
Yeah.
It was.
Like I said, this was the episode that made me just go, yeah, I need to watch this all the way through until the end. I need to see what the hell's going to happen. And the next episode, is a lot of people's favorite episode, which we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one. Hopefully here soon. But God, just that scene there at the end with the gateway, right? The gateway, because you're a Star Trek fan and you're aware of hyperspace and how that works. Whatever you have to enter that plane of existence in order to move at that speed, and effectively it's the same principle here, except there is no exit strategy. The ship itself does not have something that can take you out of hyperspace. Instead, it's a gateway, and
like a road that you ride to be in that lane, pretty much.
Yes, effectively. Yeah. And it shortens time between travel immensely. I mean, and they're saying that that's pretty much how it's going to be. There's going to be stations that will take you from one satellite station to another. Say on Mars. Of course, from our moon to like Titan, maybe, and then what's the biggest moon that?
The moon?
No, the moon. It's the one from the one around Mars.
The moon. They just moons.
Trying to remember.
Cruella de Vil was very interesting in this episode.
Oh yeah.
She was all tree hugging Cruella de Vil.
Right? Yeah, well, Phobos and Deimos. Phobos and Deimos are the two surrounding Mars. Those are the two moons around Mars. What? Yeah. But Titan is one of the moons around Jupiter, I think, and it's the biggest moon in the known galaxy.
So it's the moon.
It's the moon of moons.
The moon of moons.
Yeah.
The moon's moon. Mm-hmm. Or the moon is its moon, because it's a bitch in comparison. I'm the moon.
Well, Jupiter, we're a bitch compared to Jupiter, man.
Oh, yeah.
Jupiter is massive.
Our planet is only not a bitch because it can sustain life in all other regards.
And it's
like
the
not
only
as
one
big,
in the known
not
universe
as pretty.
that can sustain life, as far as we know.
Like a large percent just like gases too.
Yeah, gas giants.
Yeah.
What was that Nickelodeon show? Was it All That?
Yeah.
But the dude that would be like, Jupiter. That's all he said.
I'd like to go to Jupiter. And then, of course, there was another show called Space Cases. It was such shitty CGI, I'm going to be honest. But it was these kids, effectively, from the different planets of the galaxy, or the different planets of our solar system, and they effectively went through a wormhole and wound up on the other side of the galaxy. Oof. And it was going to take them around at faster than light travel around 7 years to get home, unless they found another way to get home. And it was an interesting show. I watched it originally because of who the main character was. It was Walter Jones from Power Rangers, the Black Power Ranger. Mm-hmm. He was the main character and seen as like the captain, like the future captain of the crew. Wow. They were all cadets, and he was the one that sort of talked them all into going onto this new experimental ship that was on tour.
Oh, great.
And they all wound up. And
sorry, guys, I don't know what I'm actually doing, and I kind of screwed us all.
Well, he accepts that he's done this, and he makes amends for it by effectively growing up and being a better person. And he also the series ended before we found out what happened. It was like 4 seasons in, and actually, who's seen Firefly? Jewel Stady?
It's my favorite show of all time.
Yeah, Jewel Stady, she was actually on that show. She actually played a character who had literal rainbow hair. And then there was a kid on there.
She's also one of my celebrity crushes, but she's married. So
well, and then there was also this kid named Bova who was from Uranus, and all of a sudden he was just. I remember his introduction was he was literally sitting there and he was just like, and then the teacher was going through, and we have Bova from don't say it, Uranus, and he's just like, great. I'm the butt of every joke. And it was, you see, early on there was actually some really interesting stuff, and then eventually it just
crumbled.
The show collapsed under the weight of its own story, and the writers couldn't keep up.
So,
what?
Have you ever seen Firefly?
No.
You still haven't watched Firefly, have you?
That may be one.
Is it related to Doctor Who?
No.
No.
In some way?
No.
What's
Fireflies
it related
is
to?
its own thing.
No,
its own thing.
It's not related to anything.
But Serenity, a movie called Serenity came out.
Serenity is
the
the conclusion of it.
Okay.
Yeah, which a lot of people
is a very
aren't happy
sad
about.
conclusion.
I've heard nothing but like raving reviews about it. People love it.
It's
okay.
like
I said, my favorite show of all time.
Yeah, that's all anybody's
Of course,
ever told
there's some
me. It's
people
great.
who say all you got to
it's
do
only
is just watch
13
Outlaw
episodes
Star and
long.
you'll get a superior version.
If you ever said that, fuck yourself.
I've said that.
Fuck yourself.
Oh,
what? I mean, okay.
I challenge you to Mortal Kombat.
I don't. Well, dude.
Who's going?
Okay.
Who's going?
Outlaw Star is really good, but Firefly kicks the shit out of Outlaw Star.
In your opinion.
God.
Look, the
My
truth.
opinion is facts, then sure.
Damn,
Oh
this
no,
just
this ain't a fact.
escalated
This
pretty
is
quickly.
This is a difference of opinion between our two artistic properties. You very highly value Firefly because it's probably what you saw first.
No, it's not actually. I saw
No?
Outlaw Star first.
Okay, fair enough.
Firefly has like way fucking better dialogue and like just characters. And
Okay,
everything than Outlaw Star.
Whedonisms are not better dialogue. They're just pop cultural shit that just makes you feel smart.
Pop cultural shit.
Well, not pop cultural. What I mean is
None of it's related to pop culture.
not pop culture.
It's just it's like Letterkenny. It's just really well written dialogue.
well written.
Like Trailer Park Boys.
It's like the kind of
It's
shit that
superior
like
to all
Nathan
this
Drake
stuff.
says and like Uncharted and stuff.
Kind
like
of,
that.
yeah. Nathan.
That's
Fillion
why everybody
from
was
Quality.
like, dude, fucking
Nathan
Malcolm.
No, I get that. I get that.
The
And
guy who played Malcolm Reynolds should play
I've
Nathan
seen the
Drake
fucking
because they're
series,
similar
man.
characters.
I know Malcolm Reynolds is pretty much Nathan Drake in space.
Exactly.
God, it's just okay. Answer me this: a brown-coated hero discovers a woman in a suitcase that may or may not be the key to solving a lot of the humanity's problems.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't think it's a superior show.
Thievery! God damn!
It's not thievery.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's still different.
But what about Cabbage Patch Kids? That's thievery. Because they're just like weird teddy bears that people collect.
It's true.
It's like Beanie Babies.
Yeah, Beanie Babies were a total rip-off of teddy bears, too.
And as a lot of people say, too, in terms of the world of arts, like, there's basically nothing that isn't borrowed anyways. So.
No.
Yeah, well...
Even Ric Flair was a knockoff Nature Boy, okay?
Yeah, he was. Nature
Let's
Boy
be
Buddy
honest.
Landell.
There was a Nature Boy before him that did
Buddy
the same
Landell.
shit.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, Buddy Landell. And guess what? Hulk Hogan borrowed a lot of his shit from Superstar Billy Graham.
Right.
And
the beat goes on, and the beat goes on.
My band is essentially like we just took Pantera and the Black Dahlia Murder and Lamb of God and some Black Label Society and just mixed them all in a bowl, and cooked them in the oven for a few minutes.
With music, you can't even play that game because it's all been done.
Yeah.
All been done.
I
That's
mean,
why I like
with
punk
anime
rock.
and
4
like
chords and
shows,
everybody
it's
plays
pretty much
them.
all been done too. So it's like it's very rare that there's like a completely unique, like no one's ever seen anything like this before concept nowadays, even in media like
Well, I know
TV and stuff.
a lot of stories have been told, but
It's like Cowboy Bebop is also not the only space bounty hunter show by any means.
no, I know.
Like,
I know. Well,
so
that's just like Outlaw Star in some ways. Came before this, and it has a lot of ideas that Cowboy Bebop it used as well. But I make the argument that, you know, Cowboy Bebop differentiates itself enough to where it's just like, it's its own thing. Firefly, I enjoyed the shit out of Firefly, but the very moment that Anime Abandon pointed out all the similarities between Outlaw Star, I can't go back. I cannot go back.
I don't even care. I still enjoyed it more.
No, well, that's
like,
you,
I still
man.
enjoyed Outlaw
I'm not saying
Star.
You're not allowed,
but,
I'm
like,
not saying you're allowed to not have an opinion on it. I mean, you can enjoy whatever you want. I mean, hell, dude, you could enjoy Emo. I hope you don't, but if you do, all well on you. Don't ask what that show is.
I enjoy a lot of stuff people hate, so I'm good with it. And I also enjoy a lot of things that people say are a big rip-off of everything else. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
I mean, there's guilty pleasures, and you know the world may frown on you, but at the same time, you don't have to give a shit.
With multiple generations in this world who have been raised by a screen of some kind, we're all just ripping off stuff we've seen on TV. And
someone,
you know what I'm saying?
Someone at one point, like, I told them, like, I was like, why don't you listen to Darkest Hour if you like these other bands? And I let them listen to them, and they're like, that's Atreyu. And I was like, no. Like, but they were like, I swear to God, this is just Atreyu, man. And I'm like, well, I like it. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if they're a copy of Atreyu or not.
Who cares?
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people shit on Deadmau5 because they said, oh, Daft Punk did it better first. I'm like, go fuck yourself. Literally suck an egg and go fuck yourself.
I like both. Okay.
I
like Daft Punk more, but I like both. Okay. I don't care if he's copying his music. Like we said, you can't make music without copying somebody else. It's nearly impossible.
Well, yeah, DJs, they sample. I mean, hell, look at honestly, if a lot of rappers in the 80s and 90s had to be honest, Funky Drummer by James Brown takes up half of their fucking repertoire. I mean, let's be honest.
We're all standing on the shoulders of giants, man. Yeah. Anybody who's creative is doing that.
Yeah,
because
we always do that.
Somebody had to make the mediums that we use, and by God, we just...
it's like this computer, this TV, this keyboard, you know, the internet service that you're watching us through, and, you know, very meta. Yeah, we're trying.
But this shit's fun.
Yeah.
I like to see people go at it over their things that they like and disagreements and shit, like the Goku Superman thing.
Oh yeah, people in the comments. Speaking of this, people in the comments, Nick's is really boring. He just nods and he's a yes man for Nate. He just agrees with everything that Nate says. Fuck yourself. Obviously, I don't. Fuck yourself.
No, we don't agree on we don't agree on everything. There's a lot of stuff we agree on, but at the same time, we have stuff that makes us that differentiates us from each other. I mean,
oh man, me and Nate have fought.
Oh, dude.
A bunch.
Yeah, we've gotten into some very solid, like, long, arduous arguments.
Yes.
On trips, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like 2-hour drives back from shows, and me and him are just in the... I'm in the driver's seat, he's the passenger seat, and we're just bitching at each other the entire time down. And I'm just like, you cannot be serious. He's like, I'm dead fucking serious.
And then it'll get silent. And the tension's still there. Somebody will say something, spark it right back up again.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's pure tension breakers, like, between me and Zach. It wasn't I was angry at Zach. It's just we were at the movie theater, and we were going to go watch... I forget what it was at the time, but we were going to go watch a movie, and we get there, and they're not showing it because their projector's down. And I'm just like, well, shit. Okay. Well, we already went in and we bought popcorn and everything. I told Zach to go in and buy popcorn while I got the tickets. And I go in right as he gets the popcorn, I tell him we can't watch the movie. So we have a big thick bag of popcorn, and we're just like, well, let's just take it home and watch a movie at home. Yeah, just trying to make the best of it. And then this is when I was in my Mercury Cougar, my silver Merc Cougar, and I open my door and my side of my door hits this guy's rubber on his wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, I was like, oh shit. Making sure I didn't actually hit the vehicle, and I looked, and on the tire there was a little bit of a scuff mark there on the tire, and I'm just like, well, that's just on the tire. I mean,
those get changed.
It's on the road.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this guy gets out of his car and comes around and starts bitching at me, just saying, hey man, what the hell? And I'm like, I'm sorry, man, I hit your tire with my door. I'm sorry for that. He's like, you hit my fucking wheel? And I'm like, no, I hit the tire. I hit the rubber right here. You see? He's like, what about this here? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, that wasn't me. If you want me to open my door, I can show you where it hit. And he's like, no. He's like, you know what? You know, man, it's like he just started going on and on about how I need to watch myself and do this and do that and just and all this. And I'm like, what the fuck? How did this all come to pass? Like, I didn't even have time to get mad. I was just sitting there and I was just like, and then all of a sudden what set me off and made me angry was when he came right up to me, got about this far away from me, and he put his finger in the middle of my chest and like just jabbed me like that one time. And he's like, just watch it, buddy. And he goes and he gets in his truck, and me, I'm like behind my car at this point because we've been arguing for a little bit, and I didn't want to be like in between my car. And then he gets in his truck, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, and then he gets in his truck. He revs his engine like 3 or 4 times, backs out, and then just peels off down the parking lot there, and I'm just like, who the mother? And all of a sudden I just got mad. Zach was sitting in the car this entire time. I walk around and I get in. I slam my fucking door, and I'm just like, and I just I hit my steering wheel like a good 3 or 4 times, and I'm just like, this fucking asshole, dude. This fucking piece of shit. I don't understand why he had to do that. It's like, oh, I just gotta prove to everybody I'm a big tough man. Get out of my fucking truck, and then just drive off like a fucking redneck into the night. I hope he fucking crash into a ditch, you cocksucking asshole. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like, we were driving down the road. I was going for like about a good 5 minutes on and on about this fucking asshole and how I'm hoping that he gets like. How I'm hoping that his dog gets ran over. How I'm hoping that his kids don't go to college.
Don't bring Fido into this.
How I'm hoping he gets fired from his dead-end job at a gas station in the middle of fucking bumfuck Egypt. How I'm hoping that his wife cheats on him with like 3 other guys, gets pregnant by a black dude, and then on the day she gives birth, he then sees that it's a black baby and it's not his, and then the permanent disappointment in his life leads him down to drink, and he dies of cirrhosis of the liver at the age of 50.
That's really specific.
I know. And anyway, out of me just seething and just like going on and on and on and on, all of a sudden Zach's sitting there the whole time just eating popcorn, and all of a sudden at the end of it, he's like, fucking sucks, man. Popcorn. And immediately all the tension broke, and I just started busting out laughing. And it was just all like all.
It was funny too because he's probably sitting there watching that dude yell at you like,
yeah. Who needs a fucking movie?
Exactly.
Just watch Nate's life. It's a train wreck right now.
I forget what we went home and watched, but it was
probably not as entertaining as that.
No, nowhere near as entertaining.
That's 3D to another level.
Indeed, it is. It's like going to watch a UFC fight, except no one fights.
Yeah.
I should. Honestly, the very moment he put his finger in my chest, I probably should have just, decked him. I don't know.
You probably did the right thing. Just yelling and screaming in your car is better than physical
He could have tried what my old assistant manager said he did to that dude that got out of his truck at the McDonald's drive-thru, where he just got out and was like, "Get back in your truck before I knock your old ass out."
I mean, come on. Especially if it's old people. They don't know.
No.
You got to make them, hey, dude, remember, you're fucking old. Oh, shit, he's right. I am fucking old. You know, when you get mad, you don't think about shit like that.
Right.
Like, people who get mad over the most innocuous things, like that guy got mad at me over that shit. And then there was one time at McDonald's, this one guy, like, we were, that they have the drive-thrus at McDonald's there, the 2 drive-thrus, and whoever finishes first gets to go in the line first. Well, anyway.
Was I with you when this happened?
No.
Was this the other day when that chick? No. It happened to us, too, some stupid shit.
Yeah. Like, she couldn't take the hint that, I finished my order first, back the fuck off, bitch.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we were sitting there, I was sitting there, and I finished my order, and I pulled forward. And the guy had finished his order, and he decided to pull forward, and he tried to pull up, got real close to me, and I'm just like, no. And then he was just like, he I guess he just realized that, I was in line next. And then we're still in the drive-thru, and he's behind me. And I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking, God, it has been like 6 minutes since this line's moved. What the hell's going on? And then the cars don't move, and this guy, I guess, got pissed off, and then he decides to drive around and everything. And I'm thinking maybe he's gonna ask, like, what's taking the line so long? And he looks at me, he goes. I'm like, all right. I roll down my passenger window. I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Really appreciate you cutting in front of line of me in this fucking thing, man. Thanks a lot." And then he peels off, and I'm just like, "We haven't moved in 6 minutes. How is this my fault?"
I mean,
how pathetic is your life that you got to get mad at somebody at a fucking McDonald's drive-thru?
Severe cases of dumbass are running rampant at McDonald's. It's been on the news.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this, but
I have.
The All-American Slop House, the patrons are usually not the best part of that situation.
Well,
I've had more terrible
too.
experiences with like the people at McDonald's that don't fucking work there than I ever have them messing up my order or something.
Well,
I've stepped in human shit in the bathroom in McDonald's before, man.
Oh,
no.
Yeah. All this stuff's relating to Chris Porter jokes. Like, just the thing you just said. It's like, yeah. It's like whenever you're at a restaurant and the menu's above your face, manners are relaxed a little bit. Like at a McDonald's, take a shit on the floor. Nobody cares. You're not the first person to have done that.
No.
And then
You won't be the last.
one of his others, he's talking about like all the old people, and he's like how rude all these old people are. He's like getting real sick of old people being rude. It's like, hey, old people. You know what? You don't have a lot of time left. Maybe you ought to be on your best behavior. Your time's coming up. You know, it's like a kid before Christmas. It's like, maybe you should quit.
It's true.
Maybe you should.
But then again,
you should get in some points before the end.
The least amount of fucks ever, though, because I'm about to die.
I ain't got time to give
Should I
fucks.
shake my wiener in the park? Probably not. But what are they going to do? Kill me?
Well, there was this. The movie Waiting has probably one of the best old men. And he's sitting there at this booth, and he's like, "Hi, Monty. How are you? You know, having Alzheimer's has really enlightened me on a few things. Mostly it just makes me want to give kids the bird. So, I'm thinking about going to the park and feeding some birds, but then I remembered, oh, I just give kids the bird." And then Monty's just like, "Well, Alzheimer's will do that to you. But hey, the good thing about Alzheimer's is you meet new people every day." And then Monty's and the old man's just like, "I like you, Monty. I need to come in here again tomorrow." And Monty's just like, "Well, hopefully, if you don't see me, I'll tell the next guy. I'll tell the next me to say hello." and to which is just the old man's just like, "That's nice. I'm gonna go give some kids the bird." And I'm like, that
was a really good movie.
Yeah, and then Monty,
sure.
as he's crossing around the corner, says, "I don't care if he only orders water. That is the coolest old man I have ever met in my entire life." Because it's like he will never pay for drinks here as long as I live. Because all the old man ever would get was water. He'd just come there and sit and eat water.
Eat water.
Eat water.
Give me that fork.
He would sit there and just do nothing but drink water, fuckers. But
hey, I didn't say it. You did.
Well, I know I didn't. I know I said it. And you know what? I own up to it, and I correct myself. So
check yourself. Correct yourself, fool.
Fuck you.
Don't speak wrong. Speaking wrong's against the rules.
Englishing is hard.
Yeah. What he said.
Doth thou even English, bitch? No, I don't.
This shit is dope, though, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you guys have brought me into this.
Well, we're glad you're
like
enjoying it, man.
Yeah. It's different, though. I'm not going to lie. This is like action-packed yet chill.
Yeah. I think it's the music. A lot of people attribute the music to giving it that feel.
The attitudes of the characters,
Yeah,
though, too.
yes.
I mean, they're sitting there in a gun battle in space, whatever the fuck's going on. They're kind of just like, I'm chilling.
Well,
Until they thought the gate was going to close, and they're both like, oh
fuck.
shit.
Yeah.
Well, I think, when they're under the table at the beginning of this episode, and they're just sitting there, and Spike's just like trying to reach up for his water, trying to find it, and as soon as he finds it, it gets shot. And he's like, damn it!
Right, like he nearly lost his hand. He's just like,
So there's bullets
I was
flying
trying to
everywhere.
drink that. Damn it!
Yeah.
And Jet's just sitting under there, just like trying to think. It's like, who is that old?
Yeah, who's this bitch?
Who that crackhead looking bitch?
But
Who's this Heath Ledger Joker looking bitch?
It's kind of
Good
like how
shit
he's
for sure.
in the first episode when he's fighting with what's his name? Was it Asimov's the second episode, isn't it?
Well, Asimov's the first episode, and then Hakeem was the second one.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Asimov when he's fighting him, he's got a smile on his face, like the whole fist fight. Basically,
yeah.
you know, like he's having fun with it. Like, it's pretty
Well,
cool.
These
But it's
fools
got
are
a
tripping.
vibe that's just really unique to it, and that's why
Chill.
it's like
It's
one
a
of my
very
favorite
chill
shows
vibe.
ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
And hey, we're just getting started. This was episode 4. And there's 22 more of these. And you know what? I am excited to see what y'all are going to think about the next few. Because the next one's one of my favorites.
Yeah, you said the next one's like almost everybody's favorite. It's really good, but I think episode 7 or 8. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
I got a list of them right here.
There he goes.
7, yeah. Episode 7 is one of my favorite ones.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know why.
Yeah, probably. 7 is one of my favorites, as well as there's a 2-parter coming up in the middle of the series.
11 and 12.
Good. Yeah, and then obviously the conclusion is epic as well.
Yes. So we got a lot of good stuff ahead.
Bring on the good stuff.
Yes. So, all right. So
and I have the movie on DVD, so
I
if
do
you guys
too.
want to watch the movie in between 22 and 23, I think is when it comes in,
I think so.
then we can do that as well.
Cool. Yeah. All right.
Didn't know there was a movie. Good.
Oh, yeah. There is a movie. And I was excited when it came out. I was just like, yee! I finally get to see it. Because I had to go to Best Buy in order to get it because no other store had it. I literally went to every other store in the Tri-City area trying to find it, and I finally found it.
I rented it from either Blockbuster or Hollywood Video right before they closed.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't find it for forever. And then this girl that I was hanging out with in between Kyra and the chick before that got it, found me a copy somehow and gave it to me for a Christmas present. So I was like,
Nice.
hell yeah.
Hells yeah.
Thank you, Megan.
I remember when I watched
watched this.
when I gave Micah the original series, the Blu-ray set. He actually was just like, man, is there any more of this? I really like this. And I'm like, yeah, there's a movie. He's like, there's a movie? And I'm like, yeah, here you go. And he went and watched that. He's just like, man, I'm just sad that it's all over now. And I'm like, hey, man, unless there's a season 2 coming, I mean, I don't know.
It's the way it goes.
Yep, that is the way the cookie crumbles, as it were. So, anyway, this was a fun episode,
Yes.
and we hope that you all enjoyed it. If you are watching this on YouTube, you're watching the edited version of this. The reason for that is because copyright. Ain't it a bitch? I mean, we try our damnedest, everybody. We really do. But YouTube is ratcheting down on this shit, and we are trying our hardest to keep up with the times and keep up with everything else going on out there. So, we hope that you enjoyed. And until next time, signing off, I'm Nate.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Chad.
I'm Nick.
And if you want to see more of us, we have a Discord, we have a Patreon. Check those out, and we will see you then. Peace out.
See you, Space Cowboy.